Thank you, Michael, for that fine Michael, for that fine speech in proposition of the motion. We now turn to our first speaker on opposition side. Opening for the opposition is Mr. Madhav Sareen. Madhav is pursuing an MPhil in Criminology at the University of Cambridge. A qualified lawyer from India, he previously worked as an associate in the office of Member of Parliament Banbury Swaraj in New Delhi, where he engaged in matters of criminal litigation and public policy. His research at Cambridge focuses on financial crime, particularly money laundering and its implication for governance and international law enforcement. Beyond academia, Madhav is an avid follower of cricket and politics. Madhav, you have the ears of the House.
Thank you, Mr. President. As you know, I'm Madhav Sareen, and I thank the Cambridge Union for giving me this distinguished opportunity to speak in front of this distinguished audience, and of course to oppose Lord German in today's debate. I get to oppose the former Deputy First Minister of Wales, and he gets to oppose a person who has his essay deadline tomorrow. So it's not very easy following Lord German, but I'll try my best. I'll give my best. And since we are gathered here to talk about unions, the unions of countries, unions of cultures, unions of nations, I thought I'd begin with the oldest union story I know about. So in the 10th century CE, Zoroastrians, or who we call the Parsis, who were living at Persia, were actually defenestrated out of their homeland after the Muslim conquest of Persia, and they were seeking an alternative land to live. So they sailed through the Arabian Sea and came to India. They came to the coastal state of Gujarat, and in Gujarat they went to the local ruler Jadi Rana and said that we want refuge here. Now Rana, under his religious obligation, could not say no to them. So instead of saying directly no to them, he just sent a pot full of milk to them, just to show that, my land is full, I don't have any more space here. The Parsi leader very smartly and slyly smiled. He put two tablespoons of sugar in that milk, stirred it very gently without overspilling any milk out of it, and sent it back. The message was clear. The message was clear that we won't overflow your people, and we'll blend into your culture like sugar blends into milk without overflowing it. And that's what the Parsi community has done to our country since then. So the reason why I started with this story is not because I'm the only Indian speaker here, and my people account for the highest number of immigrants throughout the world. But it is because, to keep my stand clear, that when we oppose the motion, we do not oppose the fact that there should be no immigration. We do not come here with an anti-immigration agenda. We do not come here opposing all sorts of immigration in the world. But what we oppose is uncontrolled, unchecked inflow of people inside a country, thereby breaking down the cultural and political and social fabric of that country. Today, as Europe faces waves of immigration that challenge its cohesion, we must remember that compassion without boundaries becomes chaos. Exhibit A is Germany. So in August of 2015, the then Chancellor Angela Merkel comes out and says that we can do it. We can do it. That was the line she had given. And she welcomed all the Syrians and all the Afghan persecuted minorities to come to Germany and seek refuge through the EU. Now, what she did while doing this was, she suspended the EU asylum laws, most specifically the Dublin regulation, which said that you have to seek asylum in the first EU state you enter. Thereby, thousands and thousands of migrants within 15 days came inside Germany. Cut to, when we look at the statistics from 2015 to 2016, about 900,000 migrants entered Germany, and completely changing the demography of Germany forever. I'll just take it in a moment.
There were more Ukrainians who entered Germany than Syrians, but it's always the AFD.
I'll take it in a moment. I'll take it in a moment. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Can the member please be seated?
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. We are just silencing dissent here. Thank you. So in the first quarter of 2016, when we look at the stats of Germany, in the first quarter of 2016, there was an additional 150,000 non-German job seekers. The average unemployment rate among this particular group raised, and for every 100,000 German residents, 387 refugees were added. Subsequently, this was also followed by a 2% increase in the crime rate. Now, I'm not indicating that all migrants commit crime. I'm not even slyly saying that. You guys will lynch me for that. What I'm indicating is that it is because of unemployment that came due to this unchecked immigration that crime actually increased by 2%. And what happened after that, we are seeing even today in Germany, the rise of AfD, the rise of anti-immigrant rhetoric, the rise of racism in Germany, the rise of a party like AfD winning such a popular vote in Germany. And some might contend that it is because of the far-right politics that anti-immigration rhetoric is increasing. But quite on the same stand, it can also be argued conversely that it is because of a liberal, unchecked immigrant policy that anti-immigrant agenda is increasing and far-right politics is coming up. The assumption that right-wing politics is based upon anti-immigration agenda is false, because anti-immigration agenda was not a question of elections 3 decades back. It has raised quite recently. That is because immigration has been quite slyly used by leftist and liberal governments in order to increase their vote bank. One thing that is undeniable here is that once you let 1 million people enter your country, you do get a very strong vote bank. That is something that is undeniable. The political party or the political leader who ends up allowing 1 million people to seek refuge on humanitarian grounds, let's say, does get those 1 million votes uncounted, undisputed. So what happens to a right-wing politician or a right-wing political party is it delves them into obscurity. It delves them into insecurity of getting votes. Hence, they go back and the anti-immigration agenda comes out. And the vote bank politics start, where one vote bank says that we are immigrants or we support immigrants, and the other vote bank is catered to by the far-right parties, which says that we are absolutely anti-immigrants. I'll take it in the last 2 minutes. And taking the example of Belarus from Lord German, there has also been instances of weaponization of the migration laws throughout the world. In the most recent example of Belarus and Poland, Poland accused Belarus of orchestrating an immigration attack on its borders by deliberately directing migrant flows towards European Union. Over 30,000 attempted illegal crossings were recorded at the Polish border alone. Belarus was alleged to have granted easy visas, exported migrants to its western frontier, and pushed them towards EU territory, turning human movement into a calculated act of state coercion. Migration in this case ceased to be a humanitarian cause and became a weapon of geopolitics. And in response, quite debatably and quite disputedly, Poland suspended the right to asylum, legalized pushbacks, and erected border fences. What such an uncounted and unchecked immigration has also caused are causes of economic hardship, which are not even a question that we should be debating today. Today, the European Union, or the members of the European Union, or for that matter, the entire Europe, has a per capita GDP of $40,000 to $45,000 compared to the rest of the world per capita GDP of $13,000. So yeah, you're rich. Europe is rich, richer than other countries. Hence, it becomes a place of attraction for people from those countries to come here. Yet, this very prosperity creates a paradox. When large-scale unregulated immigration occurs, government must extend those benefits long before these newcomers, new entrants in the country, become taxpayers of those countries. Hence, in a way, also decaying the economic backbone of the country. So in order to conclude, I guess on one thing that we should agree is for anything to prosper, for anything, any person to prosper, it must be alive. That's so close to the Halloween, but it has to be alive. And since we are speaking about the European countries or a European Union, in order for it to prosper, the European Union has to be alive. But what we see today, post-Brexit, are protests in Germany conducted by the AfD for a Brexit-like solution in Germany. We see Wilders saying that he'll get out of the EU asylum laws. We see Slovakia, we see Hungary on the same path. We see a party called XXXX in Italy asking for exit from the European Union. So, although I do not want to end on a disgruntled and sad note, but I hope next time when we come here to debate the same issue, we do debate the prosperity of EU. Otherwise, we'll come down to debating the very existence of EU in the next debate. Thank you.